I was just about to start a Father's Day supper for Matt and for Austin. Corey's not had the baby yet, but could be any time now. And my plans, though, have already been thwarted. So what I was going to have on the menu, it's just the dessert part that's in question now, is I have some fish. I have some fish over there in some cold water. We're going to have a little fish fry. I'm going to make some slaw, probably just some roasted potatoes. And I would love to make hush puppies. Mine never turn out that great, but I think I'm going to take Papa Tony's recipe, which I will share, and I'm just going to do it in cornbread form. I've done that before with my cornbread recipe, just done cornbread and put some onions and some sugar, and it turned out pretty good. Not as good as Papa's hush puppies. Anyway, I'm going to do that. And then I wanted to make a dessert. I was going to make a recipe from mine and Jim's cookbook, which is a raspberry trifle. Couldn't be more easier. I mean, it's just so simple. You can even buy your cake from the grocery store if you didn't have time to make it. You just take a pound cake and you break up the pieces. You get some vanilla pudding and put some of it. You got to have the raspberries, put some whipped cream, and just layer that in a bowl and let it sit for a while, and it's really, really tasty. I was going to go pick my wild raspberries that I've discovered down the hill, but right when I was about to start, it started coming a storm outside. So I'm not going to be able to go pick them. And I can't really be upset, though, because we need rain really bad. We've not had rain in about a week and a half. So I'm really, really thankful for the rain, that God's letting it rain on our gardens, even if it does interrupt my dessert. So I already had all the stuff out. I'm going to make Ain't Face pound cake. That's what I was going to tear up and put in the trifle. But since I've already got all the stuff out, I'm going to go ahead and make the pound cake. And I'm going to do one of two things, I think. Even if it's kind of going to be stormy the rest of the day, I think, but even if it clears off, it may be too wet to climb through the raspberries. So I could do the trifle and just substitute. I've got blueberries in the refrigerator. I could just substitute blueberries, or we could just eat the pound cake like it is. It's really, really tasty. But since I already had everything measured out, I'm going to go forward with that. Now, I shared Aunt Faye's recipe in a video a couple of years ago, so I can link to that, but I will just quickly tell you what's in it. So there's a cup of Crisco, 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, 2½ cups of plain flour, all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and it's just a simple, quick, easy pound cake that's so, so tasty. And I will link to the, I've also got the recipe on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, so I'll link to that in the description below. So all we're going to do is we're going to cream the shortening and sugar. We're going to add the eggs one at a time and mix well. We're going to combine the self-rising flour and the all-purpose, and then alternately we're going to add the, and I think I forgot the vanilla. We're going to add the vanilla too there. And then alternately we're going to add the flour and the milk until it's all combined. And then we're going to put it in I've already got my greased bundt pan over there. You could put it in whatever kind of a different, if you have a tube pan or something like that. And then bake at 325 for 1 hour. Cake is still in the oven cooking. Now I'm going to make the slaw so that it can at least marry a little bit in the refrigerator until it's time to eat. Now Jim and I have a recipe for slaw in our cookbook, but it's not a recipe that gives exact ingredients, and that's because I'm the one that put this one in there. I don't ever make it the same, if that makes sense. Sometimes I just make a very, very simple slaw, kind of like what Pap and Granny did. It's just cabbage and mayonnaise and salt and pepper with a little bit of extra milk, maybe a pinch of sugar. That's it. Other times, like today, I've done chopped up my cabbage. I've got here in my bowl. I've got some carrots. I've chopped up a little bit of carrots and even just like a tablespoon of onion. Sometimes I'll make a slaw like this, more, I guess, in depth, you would say, or harder to put together than that simple one. Now I have my dressing right here. Again, I don't do measurements on it. I just taste as I go. So the most of this is mayonnaise. I have mayonnaise in here. I have just a tiny bit, like a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of sour cream. I have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of milk. I have salt and pepper and celery. I even went all out and put celery seeds in it today. I usually don't do that. Sometimes I do though. I just make it up as I go. So now you'll have to share your favorite way to make slaw. I've shared this kind of my simple recipe, I think, in another video, and a lot of people left their wonderful slaw recipes, and I need to go back and try some of them. Slaw is one of my favorite foods, just because I like cabbage so much, because it's usually something that's easy to whip up, especially the kind that Granny and Pat made, and it goes so well with things. I think of it, of course, with the fish fry that we're going to have tonight, but I love coleslaw with stewed beef. I love it with that. I love it with shrimp. Sometimes we have shrimp. I love slaw with it. There's just so many different things that slaw just gives a little side dish, that little crunch, and if you put a little sugar in it, there's the sweetness. Cabbage is kind of sweet too, though, so even if you don't put the sugar. Anyway, slaw is one of the things that I make a lot. So now that I've got my, I should probably get me a spoon though. Go ahead and try to stir up my cabbage and my carrots a little bit, and my little bit of onions, which wasn't very much. I love other people's slaws when I go to thinking of decoration day at church, family reunions, homecomings, those kind of things. I always look for slaws. I love the ones, some people will put tomatoes on them. That's so good. I never do that. I don't know why, but I just love slaw. I found me a great old big piece of cabbage that didn't chop up. I'll put that over there, and then I'll eat that in a minute with some salt. I love cabbage and salt. Okay, I've got that mixed up pretty good. Now I'm going to start adding my dressing, and I hope I've got enough. I hope I don't have to mix up any more. Slaw is one of those things that is better if you make it ahead of time, so as Matt says, all those flavors can marry, but sometimes I just whip it up right before we're about to eat, and we all still like it. Especially one with lots of flavors though, like this one with the celery seed and the little bit of onion. I'm going to go ahead and add it all. I think it's going to be fine, and I think we're going to have plenty, just enough. I don't like it to be soupy, but I definitely like it all to be coated. The addition of just the carrot does give it a real pretty look. I normally don't do that, but thinking of it being Father's Day, and I'm trying to make it special for Matt and for Austin. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. But I think that's gonna, if you can see, I think it's gonna be a really good slaw. Probably should see if I can put it out of this container or this big bowl, even though it's one of my favorite bowls, and just put it in the fridge. I don't think I have room for this, although I might in the basement, so I might just try to do that, run it downstairs until it's time to eat. I'm going to go ahead and make the vanilla pudding that I'm going to use for my trifle. So I've got 3 cups of milk, just whole milk. Got 3/4 cup of sugar, and I've got 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Whew, I made a mess. Cornstarch is wanting to stick to my bowl. So I'm going to let this cook till it gets bubbly. So the mixture is beginning to get thick and bubbly, so I'm going to cook it for about 2 more minutes. Put some of the hot mixture into my eggs to temper them, and then I'll add them back in. Turn the heat down a little bit and cook for about 3 more minutes. I'm going to add the vanilla and the butter and stir that in. And then it's basically done. I'm just going to set it, once I get that blended in, set it to the side until I'm ready to assemble my cake, my trifle. So my cake has been cooling some. I wonder if I can pick it up without putting these on, but I think it's still too hot. Always nervous when you want to see if it's going to come out or not, but this time I don't care because I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to put it up, so it really don't matter if it does or not. Ooh, there it comes. I started saying it's not going to, but it did. There it comes. It's almost too pretty to actually chop up. You can hear Ira adding his 2 cents in. Before I cut it up and start layering it with I've already got the vanilla pudding made. I've got my blueberries ready. I need to whip up the whipped cream though before I do that. I'm just going to make some homemade. Although I think I do have some in the freezer. Some Cool Whip. So I have to think about that. Do I want to make homemade whipped cream or do I want to use that? Homemade's always better though. And then I'm going to assemble all the ingredients for Papa's hush puppies, but I'm going to try to do it in cornbread fashion instead of deep frying each one. So we'll see how that turns out. But I got to get all those ingredients together. Then the roasted potatoes will be easy. I still need to chop up the potatoes though. And then the last thing will be frying the fish. I'm ready to start assembling the trifle. The great thing about things like trifles or the punch bowl cake that I make, they're kind of all the same, just layered goodness, sweetness with pieces of cake, is there's really no rhyme or reason to it. You just layer them. This cake smells so good, so I'm just going to start cutting me some slices and then just start crumbling them in the dish here. Of course I should taste it, shouldn't I? How can I resist, right? I love pound cake. It's hard to beat a good pound cake. It just is. And you can make it as big or as small as you'd like, of course. Okay, I'm going to have to, can't resist, I'm going to have to taste a little bit. So good. Okay, got my blueberries. I'm gonna put sprinkle some blueberries. I was hoping it would be those wild raspberries, but this will still be good. Guess I'll do some pudding next. And some whipped cream. I did end up just making some instead of using the store-bought that I had. I can't remember if I said in the video or not, but just in case I didn't, I asked Matt, do you want me to just leave since I can't get the raw raspberries, do you want me just to leave the pound cake like it is, or would you want me to make the trifle with the blueberries? He's like, make the trifle. So this is what Matt wanted. And I know Austin will enjoy it too. Well, we all will. Not just them, we all will. Stay there. Now, turned out beautiful. I think I dropped one blueberry over here. Get it. Turned out so pretty. It's going to be really tasty, and I had part of the pound cake left, so that's good. See if I can move this without dropping it. I really don't know where to put it though. I'm going to have to put it right back where it was at. Okay, I've cleared a space for it. Okay, I've got my cast iron pan in the oven heating as the oven comes to heat, just like I would when I make my regular cornbread. But I'm going to read to you Papa's, and I'll put this link in the description below so you can go find it. But it's one time when I posted on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, and he showed me how to make it. So this is how he does hush puppies. He's got 1 cup of cornmeal, 1/2 cup flour, 3/4 cup sugar, 1 tablespoon salt, 1 tablespoon pepper. Then he chopped about 3 medium onions, and then he just adds 1/4 cup of milk to the dry ingredients and stirs that well. And then he stirs in the onions and the, next he stirs in the onions. The batter will be very thick, but Papa said not to worry. Enough liquid will come out of the onions and sugar to make the hush puppies moist. And then he uses 2 spoons to drop it into the hot oil. Now, since I'm going to put mine in a pan, I'm going to have to, it feels funny not putting an egg because I always put an egg in my cornbread. There's the flour and the cornmeal. The sugar, you could back up on that much sugar if you want to. And then the salt and the pepper. Stir that up. I've done this before as far as just making my cornbread recipe and then throwing some onions and a little bit of sugar in it. But then I thought, well, why don't I try Papa's? Let's do the liquid. And I used a little bit more than 1/4 cup because I am going to try to make a batter that'll go in my frying pan instead of doing it where you'd want them to hold together better if you were dropping them into hot oil. Get the onions. I'll start with that many and see what I think. Okay, I think that's going to be, so my onions were kind of small. I probably used, I've got some extra right there. I probably used 2 small onions, maybe 1.5. Again, all this you could just do to your own taste. You don't have to put that much sugar, that much salt, that much pepper. You just do and think of your regular hush puppy recipe and then try it in a cast iron pan and see what you think. Now, while the stove's coming to heat, I gotta get my potatoes chopped up so they can go in at the same time. So I got my potatoes ready. I'm just gonna put some pepper and some salt on them and go ahead and stick those in the oven. I just toss them in olive oil. That's all I do, very simple. I've got my hot pan out for the hush puppy cornbread mix here. I'll put this in the oven. I usually do my cornbread for 20 minutes. I'll watch, I've got it at 450. Maybe check on it in 15 minutes and see how it's doing. And then all I've got to do is make the fish and we'll be ready to eat. We like to fry our fish in cornmeal. I use a self-rising cornmeal, so it's kind of like a cornmeal mix because it's already got the leavening in it. And then I add some garlic salt, salt, pepper, Old Bay, parsley, just whatever seasonings that you would want to add to it. We really love the nutty flavor of the cornmeal. Look like a pretty good Father's Day meal.
Oh yeah, it's a feast.
I hope the hush puppy cornbread is okay.
It will be. It'll be good.
That's nice. Looking good.
I hope so. That's Papa's wonderful hush puppy recipe, but instead of hush puppies, I made it into cornbread, so we'll see if it's any good or not.
I'm sure it will be. All right. Here we go.
Looks like a feast for sure. Hope Matt and Austin approve. I think they will. I'm really excited to try the cornbread. Let's see. It's not bad. What do you think, Matt?
Good.
It's not near as good as Papa's hush puppies, but it's not bad. I gotta try a piece of fish. I love fish. I don't know why we don't eat it more often. That is some of the white bass. Is that what it is, Matt?
I'm not exactly sure what it is.
We think that's what it is. It's really good. Taste my slaw. Good slaw too. Matt's fond of saying this'll do. I think this'll do. Well, I think supper was a huge hit. Now we're going to try the trifle. Looks good, don't it, Corey?
Oh, yeah. Looks delicious.
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, dear.
Happy Father's Day, Austin.
Thank you.
How much can you eat? Pregnant lady.
Maybe I'll just start with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
How about you, Mama?
Yeah, start with that.
I hope this is good as the rest of the meal.
I'm sure it will be.
I think it's trifling good.
Well, good Father's Day supper.
Very good. Very good.
I think everybody enjoyed it. Austin enjoyed it too. Corey and Katie, y'all enjoy it?
Yeah.
They're over there trying to be silly while
I
we're trying
have
to
a
talk.
present for you.
Well, we'll do presents in a minute.
Almost forgot. I'm sorry.
Well, it's almost bedtime, so save it till next year.
Gotcha.
No. Although I could go to bed. It's still daylight outside, but
You could go to bed 10 in the morning, sleep all day.
I could. I like to sleep. What was your favorite thing, Dad? The fish?
The
I think it
fish.
was the star, yeah. The trifle was awful good, though.
Oh yeah, it was
Or
extra.
awful, trifling, awful good. What
Yeah.
did you say?
Trifling good.
Yeah, trifling good.
I've never even heard of a trifle other than I've heard people being married to a trifling woman. But I've never heard it I never know there was a dessert called a trifle.
Wow. You don't think I'm a trifling woman, do you?
No, it's not one man. Don't be mixing my words up now.
The hush puppy cornbread was good. Everybody liked it. It was really spicy, though, with the pepper. But Matt said, don't you know if Papa Tony gives you a recipe and it's got pepper in it, you're supposed to half it? I said, no, I didn't know that.
At least.
At least half it. It's still good, though. everybody liked it. I think even the girls liked it. Matt and Austin like spicy stuff, so they liked it.
Oh yeah, I like
What are you
it.
saying was spicy?
The hush puppy bread.
I didn't taste nothing that was spicy.
Okay, well, good.
I mean, I guess it was just less spicy than, or maybe I just didn't get a spicy piece. I'm sorry. It's like, I want spicy, let me tell you.
No, that's
Sorry,
good.
I
I just
don't
thought it
like
was too
that.
peppery, but that's okay. That's good that you liked it.
I just got a less peppery piece. That's right. Pepper adds way too much pepper to everything. And multiple different kinds, too.
Well, that's
Black
good
pepper's
for
not
us. What I meant was cut it in half for y'all.
Oh, red pepper, black pepper, any pepper. Okay, gotcha.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Good for your circulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. We should all circulate good tonight then.
Yep.
I'll circulate. I won't be sleeping.
You have the hush puppy pepper running through your veins.
Must have more hush puppies.
As you can see, we've had a good day. We've had a lot of laughter today, this evening especially, and had a good time, and I hope Matt has. I'm really thankful for Matt. He's a good daddy and to Corey and Katie, but then that makes it a blessing to me. I mean, you know, to have him, for him to see how he fathers them and how he's going to be he's already being a good papa and all those things. So I'm really thankful for Matt. I'm thankful for Pap, of course, on today. I think of him on Father's Day, but truthfully, I think of him every day of the world. So today's not that much different, but I'm really thankful. Thank God that I had such a good father and that he blessed me with a husband to be a good father to my kids. I'm thankful for Papa Tony and for my brother Steve and my nephews, for Austin that's going to be a father, for all the fathers in my life. I'm really thankful for them. And we hope that you won't be seeing this on Father's Day, but if you're a father, we sure hope that you had a great day. And we're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia.
What'd you say? Listen, I just thought that I heard you say, I hope you won't see this on Father's Day.
I said you won't see this on Father's Day, but we hope that you had a great day if you're a
Gosh, I heard,
father.
we hope you don't see it on Father's Day, and I was like, why would you say that?
Well, I hope I didn't say that, did I?
I don't think
All right, Katie, thanks.
I'm sorry. You probably didn't. I thought that's what I heard too, but not because you said it like that. You said, I hope, then you started a new train of
sentence?
thought.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
Listen,
they're
it don't
going to.
matter.
Unless there's, I don't see any CBS vans out here with the satellites going live.
Listen, just leave all this in there. And even if you did say that, you won't have to edit it out, and people will understand what's going on.
Satellites
Okay, bye.
linking up in space, and everybody's going to see it.
Okay, I think we better sign off before we get even sillier.
The
Yeah.
house has been bugged. No! Where's the monkey? Oh, I have the monkey. And
The monkey has appeared.
Yeah, and the monkey's making a trip to a very special place.
So we should tell the story of the monkey now that you brought it up, Court Katie. You want to come over here and tell about how you found
If you
it?
made it this far, like the last time.
Yeah, if you made it this far.
Wait, where I found it just this last time?
Yes. So if you don't know the story of the monkey, there's a little bitty monkey, and Corey and Katie and Matt for years have hid it on each other, and then whoever finds it, then they hide it again. And sometimes it takes months for people to find it. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and you find it in your cheeseburger.
Yeah. Okay, but
Katie recently found it though, and
So-
tell the whole story of how you
Okay.
found it.
But there's also the car, and I haven't hid the car in forever. Dad hid the car like, oh my gosh, like almost a year ago, and I literally look at it every day on my bookshelf, and I've not done anything with the car, so I had to bring that up too. So, the car, the monkey, the car I found on the playground like ages ago, but the monkey, there was actually two of them. Where did we get them? We went, me and Corey, when we were traveled and went somewhere, and I don't know why we would have got two little short monkeys, but we did. I know there was two of them. And anyway, this last time I found it in this teddy bear that my friend Karen gave me, and it has it's really cute, it has a little sweatshirt on it. And so I had got the teddy bear off the shelf because I was going to try it out in the baby carrier because I'm still trying to figure out how to put Ira in there.
We were Katie was going to put Ira in the baby carrier so she could walk around with him. And I said, well, while you're trying to figure out how all those straps go,
there's a lot of
I said, if
buckles.
we had a teddy bear or something, we could figure it out that way. And Katie's like, oh, I have a teddy bear. So she
I
went
run
and got it. And
I
then
put it in
she's-
there.
And then she's like, the monkey.
And the monkey was shoved in the sweatshirt of the teddy bear. The teddy bear is like a blonde color. The sweatshirt's totally gray, so I saw something black, and I was like, that's not right. And at first I was like, why is there something on this teddy bear? Like hoping it wasn't a spider or something. It was the monkey. And like literally the day before, me and Corey and Dad and the baby were all sitting in my room, and I was like, who has the monkey? And no one could figure out where the monkey was, and I was like, I'm almost positive Dad had it, because I remember like ages ago, him saying, maybe even before I had Ira, him saying, have you found the monkey yet? You know, and that was his way of letting me know that he'd hit it, and I was like,
I forgot where I hit it.
Yeah, he didn't know where he hit it, and I was worried. I was like, no, the monkey's gonna be gone. So
the monkey's back.
And it's in my possession.
Where's it at?
I'm not telling.
And Katie's already got a plan of what she's gonna do with it.
A really, really good plan.
And come to my house next so I can hide it on Austin.
Oh, it's headed your way. So, but I can't. That's it. Because if it doesn't work, then I have to save this idea for another time. So,
yeah.
Not gonna tell anybody. But if it does work out later, we'll let you know what I did with the monkey. Because it'll be the best one yet. You thought the cheeseburger was good? Wait for this. That's right.
Thanks for spending time with us.
Bye.
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 Now I'm stealing the whole dessert and I'm taking
I'm gonna steal the potatoes. I love potatoes.